In one of my first recipes, we made ambrosia with Vincent Ambrosio. The 19-year-old surfaced on my show after he showed his toothbrush to someone he thought was a 4-year-old dog. He even showed up in my Ram Ranch casserole recipe. You might want to feel sorry for Ambrosio.
Even I did a little bit.
But when you consider if I wasn't here, we wouldn't be making these crying cowboy cookies today. I'm your host, Liquid Lord. This is Chef Tango, and we're here to create awesome, phenomenal recipes. Today, we're making my famous crying cowboy cookies. These are perfect for the cowboy in your life that drives around and smokes cigars.
I like to bake.
Let's begin with our sugars and wet ingredients.
My heart's racing.
We begin with 1 stick of softened salted butter. That's a mouthful.
I know.
Next, we're going to add 1 room temperature egg, followed by 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. I'm also going to put my half a cup of brown sugar in there. And finally, we're going to add 3/4 of a cup of raw sugar.
I know, don't remind me.
And now, we're going to let the mixer do its thing. Hey Vincent, do you want to help me go over the dry ingredients?
I'm fat, I can't do anything.
That's okay. Just miss out. Go ahead and add 1 cup of generic white flour, followed by half a teaspoon of baking powder. And if you like your cookie salty and dangerous, go ahead and add 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Afterwards, we're going to add the dry ingredients to the wet ingredients. Now you might be asking, what's the difference between crying cowboy cookies and the Fort Myers cookies I've made in the past? The difference is 3 ingredients.
The Lexapro, gabapentin, and Adderall.
I'm not doing that. However, we will add 1 cup of instant oats, along with 3/4 of a cup of unsweetened shredded coconut. And if you want to taste some nuts, we're going to add 3/4 of a cup of chopped walnuts. And you've definitely got to have 1 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips. And now that we're done with the cookie dough, there's only a couple things left to do.
You can put that in the fridge.
And while we put the cookie dough in the refrigerator for an hour, I would like to begin by thanking my generous patrons. That's thing 1. Thing 2, I would also like to thank everybody for holding it down on Streamlabs. I plan to get back to streaming once a week pretty soon. And now that the channel's monetized, I can finally get to thing 3. And thank you all for your channel memberships and super chats. And finally, I would like to thank viewers like you. And now that my favorite ingredients have been getting along, the oven is preheated to 375 degrees. Now all we need to do is form the cookies and put them in the oven for about 10 minutes.
I just want to get shock therapy.
There's no need. The oven works just fine. And 10 minutes later, you've got perfect crying cowboy cookies. They're not that big, but they can fit inside you. Hey, thanks for the knife, man. Let's cut this puppy open. Here's a close-up so you can get a better look at it. But I think it's about time for you to go out and be arrested right now.
Stop right there, sir, please. Yeah, behind your back. Sheriff's office, down! Get down! No! Hands behind your back, Put your hands behind your back!
Ouch, another blow to Lorne. Arrested with Vincent Ambrosio. Now I can finally try one of these cookies. This cookie has a nice chew to it. I think you ought to try these shit. And this has been your host, Liquid Lord and Chef Tango. If you like what you saw today, please consider subscribing for more future content. And since you're still here, why not check out that video to the left? But until next time, don't forget to delete your archives. Bye, sweethearts.